Hey guys, welcome to The Strong Young Man. Modern feminism has enabled really polarising ideals which have had unintended consequences. If this progresses much further, it will eventually lead to the annihilation of the fabric that holds society together. Feminism has led to a powerful reaction from the social force, resulting in the following unintended consequences. Consequence number 1. Women are more equal than men. Firstly, you must understand that feminism is no longer about equal rights. Equalism or egalitarianism is about equal rights. Historically, feminists were given the power to speak to promote equal rights when they were disadvantaged. This worked, and equality was restored. Women now have the same civil rights and the opportunity to choose their destiny. Note that this is not the same thing as equality of outcome, another atrocious ideal that I will address in a future video. Feminism is a political movement targeted at making women more equal than men. By more equal, I mean that feminists are promoting absolute equality for everyone, but disregarding social conventions that oppress men, while enforcing social conventions that give power and privileges to women. It's a concept taken from George Orwell's novel Animal Farm, where power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. When you give a minority absolute power over a majority, especially those who are not used to the power, it corrupts them, and they use it to their own advantage. This has happened many times over the course of history. Animal Farm was actually based off themes that closely resemble 20th century Russian totalitarianism. Unfortunately, in the last decade, feminism has evolved even further into a more radical form, where the leaders overtly resent and hate men. They seek to punish the gender for the oppressions experienced by the sisterhood in the 20th century. We can't use the deplorable behaviours of our grandparents as an excuse to continually issue unmeted privileges to women in the hope that it reconciles history. To do this is to oppress the privilege, which is going to move us further and further away from true equality. Third wave feminists hide behind the nobility of equality, but will actively see to it that male oppressions are maintained and even encouraged. More and more women who advocate for equal civil rights are disidentifying with feminism because they realise how divisive it has become. According to an article in the BBC, only 1 in 5 women are calling themselves a feminist, yet I am sure that 5 out of 5 women desire equal rights for both sexes. This means that 4 out of 5 women realise that modern feminism is not advocating for true civil equality. Consequence number 2, a decrease in female happiness. Feminism has made women believe that in addition to equal civil rights, their happiness will be found in their professional success, equal to that of a man. For most women, relational success, such as a good group of friends, an intimate partner, and a close family will have the largest impact on their happiness. Young women are faced with vehement angry feminists who tell them that their happiness will be found in building professional success, to the exclusion of relational gratification. When these poor women live out the feminist dream, it causes them to become extremely unhappy as they approach middle age. 1 in 4 women over 40 is on some sort of antidepressant medicine. The unhappiest demographic of individuals are women earning over $100,000 and single with no children. When these women realise that relational gratification contributes significantly to their happiness, they begin to prioritise intimate relationships over professional success. What these middle-aged women discover is they find it hard to attract a mate on a level that they believe they are entitled to. By 30, a woman's sexual market value is on the decline, and she will struggle to attract a high-value man on the same level that she was able to easily get the attention from in her early 20s. Remember from episode 7, women are hypergamous, preferring to date men with a sexual market value of 1 to 2 points above their own. For a wealthy woman whose hypergamous drive prioritises long-term security, she will find it very difficult to secure a mate who earns more than her. When women earn more, it reduces the number of candidates that are able to satisfy her hypergamy. Some women even believe that their 30-year-old self is entitled to a higher value man than their 20-year-old self, due to their improved financial status. These women misunderstand the basis of their own value, and this will leave them despondent and disappointed. This is likely to result in increasing frustrations towards men and at the sexual marketplace in general. Feminism has also taught women that what arouses them, an alpha male who can provide, also arouses men. This could not be further from the truth. Men, especially high-value men, actually find feminine traits such as agreeableness, cooperation, and submission to be more attractive. Unfortunately, the masculine traits that successful women were encouraged to cultivate through feminism has backfired, and this will cause women to remain single as they age. These masculine women don't intimidate men, rather men just don't feel the same level of attraction as they do to a woman who is kind, empathetic, yielding, and supportive, especially if she is going to be the mother of his children. Consequence 3, an increase in divorce. Another problem that feminism has caused for society. revolves around the social conventions and laws relating to divorce. Feminism encourages women to be empowered and liberated. But one of the ways that this is manifested is that women are divorcing their husbands and destroying men financially in the process. Women initiate 70% of divorces in the Western world. A big incentive for women to divorce their husbands is that they usually acquire more than half their husband's wealth, take a sole or large chunk of joint custody of any children, and they receive child support income to support the child. The allure of the financial incentive for divorce often trumps a woman's logic, ethics, and morals. The saddest part is the negative effect that it's having on the most neglected party in all of this, the children. Taking the father away from children is having catastrophic consequences to the new generations. Fathers like mothers play a key role in parenthood. Fathers should raise good girls into cooperative women and good boys into strong men who can support society. Feminism is sterilising the masculinity in young men. When a single mother raises a young man, he becomes feminized. If the mother is a feminist, she encourages him to suppress his masculinity because she believes it's toxic. This is most likely because she never observed a good example of a strong man with positive masculinity herself, probably because her own parents were divorced. A young woman of divorced parents is forced to overdevelop her own masculine side, and here we see the problem for young women without a positive masculine influence. Men become women, and women become men. Rather than engaging with the conduct that aligns with their nature, they are forced into the role that opposes it. This is a recipe for disaster when you consider all the positive things that feminine women and masculine men provide for society. Masculinity is about providing more than you consume, helping to do all the dirty jobs that keep society going. To sterilise men's masculinity will have consequences that discourage men from working. This will reduce society's productivity and its wealth. Ironically, women are the biggest beneficiaries of the fruits of masculinity. Understand that men can do most of the jobs that women do for themselves, but you would be hard-pressed to find a woman who is willing to lay brick, crawl through the sewers, down the mines, or on oil rigs. The masculine energy that brings aggression is also the same energy responsible for giving men the energy to do the fundamental jobs of society that keep the world moving. All of the radical ideals of the modern feminist have actually served to segregate the sexes. Men and women are better united than we are segregated. Marriage serves to protect women and make them happy, not to oppress them. I think women are slowly starting to realise the deleterious effect that modern feminism has had on them. They are realising that everything that they have sought after has caused men to change for the worst. Some men have unsubscribed from women altogether. Young women today are reaping the consequences that third-wave feminism has sown, and I feel sorry for them. Especially the traditional women who stay true to themselves. You are treasures. As Milo Yiannopoulos puts it, feminism is a cancer, poisoning the whole body. Some women still struggle to come to terms with this concept because it is too hard for them to confront the notion that everything they have fought so hard for is causing these consequences. It is easier for them to turn a blind eye, blame men, and then shame them into exile. But denial won't solve the problem. Only consciousness will. With more men opting out of women altogether, eventually women will have to realise that something is wrong and take ownership. It's just a matter of time and how much of the tab they spend before the bill comes due. Thanks for watching today's episode. In episode 24, I'll go through how to keep your life balanced. Subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified when it drops. Catch you then.